No more conspiracy theories. No more conspiracy theories until y'all learn how to fucking act, okay? I'm done. I'm fucking done. No more. No more. I used to be a girly who liked a good conspiracy theory every now and again, okay? I didn't give them that much credence, but it was fun. It's fun to suspend your disbelief. It's fun to engage in the silly from time to time. I understand. I get it. I am not a 100% serious girly. That is not me. That has never been me. I love a good goof. I love a good gag. But my God, we can't keep doing this. We are in dire straits right now when it comes to critical thinking and when it comes to logic. We can't even have fun anymore. You don't even get the relatively harmless conspiracy theories anymore, okay? You don't get to say that the moon landing didn't happen. No more. Too long. We have let the conspiracy theorists run rampant. Too long. We have allowed them to have their moment in the sun. It is time that we shame them back into the shadows. Serious talk for a moment. Kim Kardashian said on her show that she did not believe that the moon landing happened. Here is the quote that has been going around, and then I will play you a clip that also came from the show. Here's the quote. They're gonna say I'm crazy no matter what, but go to TikTok. See for yourself. There's no gravity on the moon. Why is the flag blowing? The shoes that they have in the museum that they wore on the moon is a different print in the photos. Why are there no stars?
I'm sending you, so far, 1 million interviews with both Buzz Aldrin and the other one.
Do it.
This girl says, what was the scariest moment? And he goes, there was no scary moment because it didn't happen. It could have been scary, but it wasn't because it didn't happen. So he's gotten old and now he slurs on his thing.
Yeah. Dude.
Yeah. So I think it didn't happen.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to go on a massive deep dive is what's going to happen. Okay. I'm going to go on a serious deep dive.
I center conspiracies all the time.
Now, we need to have a serious conversation because we are in a world where stuff like this, questions like, hey, why do these things not happen, are supposed to be harmless, I'm just asking questions moments, but they're not that anymore. Because now you have people who will take that and go, that is hardcore evidence that this did not happen. And we must tell everybody that this is hardcore evidence that this did not happen. I'm not someone who is for putting a lot of weight on what someone like Kim Kardashian has to say. Celebrities, or even content creators, even myself. Honestly, do not take the things I say for face value. A lot of it is just my opinion, but sometimes I do give information. And when I do, you should probably double check that information. I may get things wrong. I will not intentionally lie to you, but it is possible I may get something wrong. You should double check. You should make sure you have multiple sources. That is a good thing. That is the way to engage with media. Unfortunately, however, we do live in a world where people do put a lot of weight on what celebrities, content creators, etc. have to say. So there is a non-zero amount of Kim Kardashian fans who will hear her say this and they will have their opinion on whether or not the moon landing happened be formed by Kim Kardashian's opinions of it. That is a fact. I can't say how many people will have this reaction, but there are people out there who will have this reaction. And I have to be honest with you, given the fact that Candace Owens is pulling in millions of views a day at this point, I really think that we are in a society that is primed for conspiracy theories, primed for misinformation, disinformation, all of that stuff. As a content creator, as a celebrity, it is really easy to just write it off and say that you don't have any real influence. Nobody takes you that seriously. But I think we all know that's not true. There are absolutely people out there who do put a lot of weight in what their favorite content creator or favorite celebrity has to say. I'm not saying that's a good thing, but it does happen. I do think that if you have an audience, you do have a bit of a responsibility to at least demonstrate critical thinking skills for your audience and encourage them to engage in critical thinking themselves. Like if someone said the earth was flat, you would push back against that. And I think that that should be the same for most conspiracies at this point. Again, maybe when people get back into critical thinking, we can go back to being silly about this shit again. But until then, we have a real crisis on our hands. And I don't know how to combat that, but the best way I know how, at least right now, is to encourage people to engage in critical thinking, to analyze things, to get second sources, to not take things at face value. Kim Kardashian was never going to be someone who cared about this. That's whatever. I'm just using her as an example at this point. My main point and the main takeaway should be that critical thinking is in dire straits, and if you have an audience, then it's kind of silly to pretend like there aren't some people who put some level of stock in your opinions. And I'm not saying that's a good thing or a bad thing, but the responsible thing to do would be to recognize that and act accordingly. And I think that very few content creators actually want to recognize that responsibility because it is a lot to consider. I mean, it is a bit of a weight to carry. So it's easier to just pretend that you have no influence, that they don't take you seriously, when that's not really the case. At the very least, you have a responsibility to not mislead your audience and to not encourage your audience to be misled. At most, you should be demonstrating critical thinking skills for your audience and encouraging them to engage in critical thinking. And on the flip side, the audience members have a responsibility to not take everything at face value and to seek out secondary sources and other resources. It's a two-way street, and nobody's really doing what they're supposed to be doing. So everything's dysfunctional and we're all fucked. In a perfect world, we wouldn't have to consider this because people wouldn't put this much weight in what celebrities and content creators have to say, but we definitely do not live in a perfect world, and I do think it's kind of silly to pretend that there aren't people who do have some of their opinions informed or formed by what their favorite content creator has to say. And as long as those people exist, then you kind of have to recognize that you have a bit of a responsibility to your audience if you care about their well-being. I am going to wrap this video up here, so thank you so much for watching, and give the video a like for me. Let me know what you think down below. Look, I could be the friend who's too woke here. I don't know. Maybe I'm doing too much. I do think about this quite a bit, so I just have a lot of thoughts on this stuff, and let me know. Let me know. I wanted to get my thoughts out there a little bit, but let me know what you think, and definitely do me a favor. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell. Is that a thing? That's a thing, right? Do that for me, please. Thank you. I'd appreciate it. I'm trying to reach 200 subscribers by the end of November, and if you want to help me reach that goal, then hit that subscribe button. I would very much appreciate it, and I very much appreciate you watching this video. So thank you so much for watching yet again. Take care of yourself, free Palestine, and goodbye.